Hey everybody, welcome to Kimball's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Body Brokers. It's about brought to Los Angeles. So a recovering junkie goes to Los Angeles to go to a rehab center where he thinks he's going to get better, but then evidently comes to find out that it's a cover-up for an operation that enlists addicts to recruit other addicts. So some kind of money-making scheme that addicts recruit other addicts and somehow they make money. Drugs rehab profit is what it says under there, right? So that's kind of neat. Frank Grillo, like, he's starting to be like, you know, he's getting in everything. Now his movies haven't been bad, but he's been like in all these other movies I haven't heard of. You know, kind of like Nicolas Cage and Bruce Willis. But again, his movies haven't been as bad as those, so I'll watch anything he's in anyway. But also, who else did I see in this? I thought I saw some other people. Maybe not. Maybe I'm crazy. I'm sure there are. I just don't recognize them right now. 6.3 on IMDb. It's available on Amazon Prime. Only 197 people have rated it so far, and it is an hour and 51 minutes long. So let me get into it here a little bit, find out what it's about, see if I recognize anybody else in it, and then keep you up to date and ultimately tell you what I think. Stick around. Hey everybody, I want to do a quick check-in here. We're watching Body Brokers. We're at the 56-minute 35-second mark. So, pretty interesting. It starts off with our main character, Utah, who happens to live in Ohio with his girlfriend, something with an O, Opal, whatever, hooked on heroin, right? And our recruiter, Wood, who is played by, I actually recognize him, Michael Kenneth Williams. So you've seen him, you know who he is, maybe you know the name, but you'll recognize him. He's in a lot of different things. Anyway, he recruits, you know, he finds them, he understands they're addicted, so he offers to fly them out to California to go to this treatment center. And so the kid is like, yeah, I'll do it. Opal's not so sure, so they split up and he comes out. And it's really focused for the most part on him getting better. And the nurse, the intake nurse, whatever, is Jessica Roth. You know, Happy Death Day. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Happy Death Day. She's in that and some other things, but I always remember her from that. So there are a lot of other people in here that I didn't realize. Meanwhile, Frank Grillo, he actually owns the treatment center, New West, I think it's called. Let me stop right there and let you know, this is all based on true story. So evidently, at the time this was happening, I don't know when it was, probably the early 2000s, I don't know. I'll check that out and let you know at the end if I can figure it out, but obviously not now. But there were certain things that happened in the government that said, you know, they want get people help. Is basically the whole thing. They had a monologue in the beginning and I didn't actually hear it, so I apologize, but I figured I could piece it together. Essentially, the government will help to pay to get people off drugs, right? And insurance companies. So, you know, insurance is paying, you know, a lot of these different bills to get these people better. And so what the whole thing is about is, hey, let's take advantage of this. Let's find these kids, recruit them, and get them in for help. They don't really care if they get better. In fact, if they don't get better and they return, that's fine. It's like they get like $72 million a year if they fill their beds, essentially. You know, it's like, I forget, they broke it down by, there's a whole mathematical equation on how much money they're making, you know, by having these kids there. Of course, they've got to spend to get the doctors and the counselors and the nurses, whatever. But still, it's a money-making scam to take money from insurance agents, insurance companies, and you know, put these kids in treatment or whatever. And so our main character, Utah, has gone through a couple of days, and now, or 30 days, and essentially he wants to go out and he wants to quit rehab, but he wants to, you know, go out and get a real job and go with Wood, who's like a recruiter. So now you're finding out a little bit more about what they're doing. So he's like letting him look behind the curtain because he wants him to be involved. And he's starting to pick up on it, you know. So it is pretty interesting that it's based on a true story. I think I said Frank Grillo. He's the CEO of New West, which is one of the treatment centers. So I'll see where it goes from here. Obviously, this was based on a true story, so this was, people might be already aware of it, including you. You know, me, no. If it doesn't happen in the movies, I don't know about it, I guess. So, but I find it very, very interesting, and I thought it was pretty neat. It does take this little turn here, but that's kind of in the synopsis. You know, so I'm not spoiling anything for you, but it starts out as, oh, this kid's addicted, let's get him help, let's see what his story is. And then it's like, no, that's not really the real story. The real story is the fraud and the scamming and stuff like that. Man. Anyway, you know, and I get it, but like to prey on people, like to, I mean, to get them in there and get the help and get money for it, whatever, that's fine. I have no issue with that, but they should be, like, there should be like a retention piece of it. Like, if they come back, you know what I mean, you don't get as much money or something like that, you know. I know, but that's not the way they're doing it. If they come back, they need the help. Get them the help is what the good government was thinking, not make it a money-making scheme. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox and get back into the movie. But very interesting. I'm enjoying it, and hopefully you will too. I'm going to get back into it, and I'm going to say that one more time. No, I'll see you at the end and give you my final thoughts. I'll figure out what year this was happening. All right, I'll be back.
My man. Utah.
Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Body Brokers, and I just want to catch up real quick on the piece that I missed in the beginning. I had to re-listen to it. 2008, Obamacare, or affordable health care, required that insurance is starting to cover, you know, a portion, if not all, of drug treatment and detox centers kind of things. So that's what this is. I mean, that was right in the beginning. And you probably already knew that, but that's what had happened. And then this movie kind of just even focuses on Southern California. That's why the treatment center was out there. And it's just about how many treatment centers, you know, came up in 2008, and it was like, wow, you know, we get people in here, insurance is going to pay for it, going to make a lot of money, right? And it gives the example of there's like 500, Southern California, 500,000, 500,000 beds in just Southern California in a year. And it's like $12 billion or something like that. I don't know, ridiculous. So there's that whole side of the story, the scam, the, you know, that piece of it, the money-making piece. And then there's the story of Utah and you know, his drug addiction and how he, you know, what happens to him throughout his, you know, attempt to be sober kind of thing. So really good intertwined stories, and I thought that worked really well. You know, you root for Utah, you like him, he's not a bad guy, and he maintains the likability. So there's times, I'll just give you an example, in other movies people struggle with whatever it is, addiction it could be, and you know, they're great, everybody loves them when, you know, everything's going well, but then when you start to struggle, you know, they act out, these other people. Utah maintains his likability, so I like that about him. I like the way they did that with the character. And the whole, you know, the whole fraud piece, and not to, you know what I mean, I don't really get into my opinions that much except for on the movie. I see nothing wrong with recruiting people and even paying them to go to rehab. But with the intention of them, you know, if you have the intention of them getting better, you know, not just creating the, you know, circular, revolving door kind of thing. That's where the morals come in, you know. But I mean, I don't think there's anything really morally wrong if you're going to incentivize somebody who needs drug treatment into the drug treatment center, again with the thought that they will get better. So, and I guess in a sense it would have to be somebody who wants to go. I don't know what the success rate is for people who want to go to the drug treatment center versus people who are forced to go. Anyway, that's enough of that. It caught me as very, very interesting, this whole concept of the movie, and the fact that it was based on a true story. And so I enjoyed it. Now, Frank Grillo, small role. You know, he's the CEO of the treatment center, but I mean, as far as in the movie, his role was very small. So if you're looking for a big Frank Grillo film, you're not going to get it here. It's really about Utah and Wood are your main characters, and so definitely worth the watch. If you liked anything that I said about the interesting the interesting story behind all of this, I think you'll enjoy it. So there you go. I did not know about this, going into it, so that's why I liked it. Now you might know a little bit more than me, because I've now shared that with you. But definitely worth the watch, and I'm glad I did. So there you go. That's it. I'm not going to go on anymore. If you found it helpful, drop me some comments. Love to hear your thoughts. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. And thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.